bank cashier handed over 60 lakhs to a complete stranger. No gun, no threat, just a voice. This shook the Indian government, exposed cracks in national security, and ended in a death that no one could explain. Today, we are diving into one of the most bizarre financial frauds in Indian history, the Nagarwala case. This is Crime and Clue, a true crime podcast where every story is backed by deep research. Now let's go back to the case. Let's rewind to May 1971. Tensions in the Indian subcontinent were rising. At that time, Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan and the liberation war in East Pakistan was intensifying. India's role was becoming increasingly complex. Also, this was a time when black and white television was in its early stages of adoption in India. Hardly anyone in India had a television at that time. Imagine the awareness level back then. Today, even with the internet and social media, people still fall prey to scams. Now imagine how limited awareness was in those days. On one such day, 24th May 1971, at about 12 noon, a quiet day at the State Bank of India on Parliament Street, New Delhi. Chief Cashier Ved Prakash Malhotra received a phone call. The caller introduced himself as Shri P.N. Haksar, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister of India, and he said that the Prime Minister urgently needed 60 lakhs rupees in cash for a top secret mission related to the liberation struggle of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. The chief cashier Ved Prakash Malhotra was shocked and hesitant, so the caller asked him to speak to the Prime Minister herself. And then, on the other end of the phone, he heard the voice of the Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, who told him to bring out the money himself and keep this as top secret. Also, she instructed him to personally hand over the cash to a man who will identify himself using a specific code word, which was Bangladesh Ka Babu. And in return, Ved Prakash Malhotra needs to say bar at law. And then he is required to hand over the cash to him. He was further assured that he would get the necessary voucher and receipt of this transaction, which he can keep in record. After this, Ved Prakash Malhotra keeps down the receiver of the phone, still stunned, and asked his deputy chief cashier R.P. Batra to organize funds. Batra then instructed head cashier Ruhel Singh to prepare and release 60 lakhs rupees in cash. Ruhel Singh asked for a voucher. He was then told that Ved Prakash would provide it later. After some time, two cash coolies loaded the trunk filled with cash into the bank's official car, which was driven away by Ved Prakash himself. Ved Prakash Malhotra says that he stopped the car a little distance away from the bank. A tall, burly, fair-complexioned man approached him and they exchanged the code words. Together, they drove to a taxi stand at the junction of Sardar Patel Road and Panchil Marg. There, that man offloaded the cash box and asked Ved Prakash to go straight to the Prime Minister's house and obtain the voucher. If you remember, it was earlier promised. The Prime Minister was not at her home, and Ved Prakash went over to the Parliament House, but even there, he could not contact the Prime Minister. After making various unsuccessful attempts to meet the Prime Minister, he came across Shri Haksar, the man who had actually called him. And when Malhotra asked for the receipt and the voucher, he was told that no such demand was made by the Prime Minister or anyone else on her behalf. Ved Prakash was shocked and he knew that he got duped, so he immediately went to the police. Meanwhile, Ruhel Singh, the head cashier, kept asking R.P. Batra, the deputy chief cashier, for the voucher, and when he didn't receive one, even after a long wait, he also went to the police. After receiving complaints from both Ved Prakash Malhotra and Ruhel Singh, police immediately got into the action and a team led by D.K. Kashyap, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Inspector Haridev and Inspector A.K. Ghosh started investigation and called this investigation Operation Tufan. Now listen closely, this is where it gets a little complex. They tracked the taxi initially hired by the man, The driver said he had dropped him off in Defense Colony. Further investigation showed that man had taken another taxi. That too was traced. That driver said the man went to a house in Rajendra Nagar, from where he borrowed a suitcase. The taxi driver also said that man carried a heavy suitcase for a mission in East Pakistan, and that man had given him rupees 500 to keep it a secret. Inmates of the Rajendra Nagar house confirmed the man borrowed the suitcase. From there, he went to Nicholson Road in Old Delhi, where he transferred the box in front of the taxi driver. Later, the box was moved to a friend's house in Defense Colony. That friend tipped off the police. Later, that same day, police arrested the man from Parsi Dharamshala. The man was Rustam Saurabh Nagarwala, an ex-military intelligence officer in the British Indian Army. Police recovered 59 lakhs 95,000 from Defense Colony. Only 5,000 rupees were missing. Nagarwala confessed to the crime and admitted that it was he who had mimicked Mrs. Indira Gandhi's voice. Within just 3 days, on 27th May 1971, he made a confessional statement before judicial magistrate. And within 10 minutes, he was sentenced to 4 years of rigorous imprisonment and a fine of rupees 1,000. Yes, the whole trial just lasted 10 minutes. But the case doesn't end here. It is just the beginning of the conspiracy theory. Surprisingly, some days later, Nagarwala filed an order against his conviction. Nagarwala pleaded that the retrial should not be in the court of the magistrate who had convicted him. The case was sent for a fresh trial to a different magistrate, Shri N.L. Kakkar, ordering the trial to be conducted properly as per law. On August 9, 1971, charges were formally read out to Nagarwala again. Then on October 5, 1971, during the trial, Nagarwala submitted a legal application. He argued that there was enough evidence on record to show that Ved Prakash Malhotra, the chief cashier, was also guilty. Nagarwala requested that Malhotra be added as a co-accused and that they both should be tried together. The prosecution objected, and on 28th October 1971, his plea was rejected. The magistrate gave the following reasons for rejection of his plea. First, there was no evidence at that point to show that Malhotra had committed a crime. And second, Malhotra was a prosecution witness, not an accused. Nagarwala challenged this decision. He filed a revision petition in the Sessions Court, but the Sessions judge agreed with the lower court and dismissed Nagarwala's plea. On 16th November 1971, Nagarwala again filed an appeal in High Court. Then came a shocking development. On 20th November 1971, the young police officer D.K. Kashyap, who had headed the investigation, died mysteriously in a car accident while going for his honeymoon. On 16 December 1971, as everyone already knows, Bangladesh became a sovereign nation and was no longer a part of Pakistan. As the matter of retrial lay with the court, Nagarwala sent a message to the then editor of Current, D.F. Karka, and an acknowledged leader of the Parsi community, stating that he would like to give him an interview. Karka was ill, so he sent one of his assistants. Nagarwala refused to talk to the assistant, saying he would speak only to the editor. Early in February 1972, Nagarwala became ill and was admitted to the Tihar Jail Hospital. He was then transferred to the G.P. Pant Hospital on February 21st. On March 2nd, immediately after having lunch, Nagarwala collapsed. At 2:15 p.m., he was declared dead. The day he died was his 51st birthday, just 3 months after the death of ASP Kashyap. This raised serious questions. Many believe Nagarwala may have been involved in a secret mission related to East Pakistan, especially given his intelligence background. The mysterious deaths of both Nagarwala and Officer Kashyap in such close proximity added to the conspiracy theories. This case was discussed in the parliament and Indira Gandhi's involvement was questioned. In 1977, when the Janata Party came to power, a commission called the Reddy Commission was formed to investigate the case and any potential role of Congress, or the Indian intelligence. The Reddy Commission submitted an 820-page report stating that there was no foul play. To this day, the mystery and conspiracy theories surrounding the case continue to capture public imagination. That's it for today. If you liked this video, then please explore more content on this channel. All the information shared here is based on authentic records and only facts are presented. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.